Expressing the local, fresh, organic mantra is easy at Gabe's Place. It has its own garden, it's in the heart of farmland, and it's located on the coast with oysters and seafood galore. You can dine inside or al fresco on Highway 1 in Point Reyes at the Station House Café.
From the very beginning, it has been our commitment and the commitment of our founder to bring to the table the best quality ingredients that we can find. And that starts here in our own backyard with the rich agricultural history of this area. You know, when we need creme fraiche from Cowgirl Creamery, we just walk down the street. We have Point Reyes Farmstead blue cheese a couple miles away, Hog Island oysters, Drake's Bay oysters. Bill Nyman, with his new project at BN Ranch, is back in Bolinas again. Our chef is Wayne Pratt. He is a young, inventive, very creative and brilliant chef who has been able to carry all of our old favorites, the traditional American dishes that we've been known for decades, as well as bringing his own innovative kind of new American cuisine to our specials menu. So we have a mix of both. We've been able to retain the original character of this rural agricultural space. Here we are in this wonderful village, only an hour away from San Francisco. We really enjoy all of our local guests as well as visitors from the Greater Bay Area and all over the world. We work hard to provide warm and welcoming service, love what we do, and when guests leave, we just hope that they have the time of their lives and can't wait to return.
All right, Gabe, how did you go from food, because you have a background in food, right? Your mom is certainly well known for teaching cooking, et cetera, around the Bay Area, to motorcycles?
Well, my mom said no motorcycles till I was 18, so when I turned 18, I got a scooter. Because a friend of mine, was into scooters and it looked like fun, and that progressed into motorcycles.
And that's how you discovered then Station House? That's
just been the regular stop for that ride since the late 1980s. And it's easy to see why, because you have this terrific atmosphere. There's a big outdoor garden space, and they just let all the motorcycle guys put the tables together, and there'll be 20, 30 of us sometimes all enjoying breakfast.
And what do you eat?
I get the Hangtown fry pretty consistently. So the Hangtown fry, this is like a traditional kind of Northern California dish. Came from the gold rush era when miners would come in with a sack full of gold and they wanted the most expensive things on the menu, which would be oysters, bacon, and eggs. And that's what it is. It's fried oysters, bacon, and eggs. But it's all local, fresh ingredients. I don't know, all local. But the oysters...
Well, the oysters, they just pick them up and bring them to the table.
The oysters are actually just kind of walking along the road in West Marin, and you just pick them up and shuck them. Yeah.
And did you go for breakfast brunch?
The day we went out there, it was kind of cool and blustery, and then you tuck into the Station House. It's this cozy, very relaxed place, and it's just a wonderful place to come after you've been out hiking and spending a day, you know, around the coast.
Right.
So the person I went with, my wife got the ossobuco, and ossobuco should be cooked until it's basically falling off the bone, and darned if it wasn't. Yeah. And it was on a bed of polenta, which absorbs, you know, all of the juices, and it was very, very nicely done. I decided to try some fish, and I had the yellowtail. It was nice. It was a touch dry, you know, but it wasn't like all dried out. It was just like 30 seconds past perfect, I suppose.
I thought the fish was delicious. We ordered a whole table worth of food. We had the calamari, the clam chowder, the seafood fettuccine. We had the fish tacos. We had butternut squash soup. I had the mushroom portobello sandwich. We had it all.
I was going to say, what else is on the menu, honey?
I know, right? I went with a large group. Yeah, we had about 4 people, so we ate a lot, and the clams were to die for. I thought it was better than Fisherman's Wharf clams. Yeah. My mushroom portobello sandwich had a bacon vinaigrette on it, which just was perfect. I've never had it before, and I thought that was something new and exciting to me, and I would just go back for that.
You mentioned the calamari. They had a seared calamari appetizer, but we went for the fried calamari because it's a favorite. And one test I like to do when fried calamari comes is you push it out of the way and see how much grease you see on the plate. There was almost nothing,
No
just a
grease.
few drops here and there, which is, you know, with fried food, that's the trick, is getting it crisp without having a lot of grease, and they did a beautiful job on that.
And they had a cool jalapeno yogurt dip.
That's right.
And I've never had that before. I usually have a olive oil vinegar kind of thing on the side, but this was different. It was good.
It wasn't really spicy jalapeno. You actually got more of the flavor than the hotness of the jalapeno, which is unusual.
The owner's heart is in it completely, and the community you can tell this is a community place, a community institution.
Right, and a destination. Obviously,
Yep,
you guys go
both.
there. You
Right.
bring your whole.
There's so much to do in
Right.
West Marin: bicycling, motorcycling, hiking, kayaking, or just eating, dozens of oysters. Just sit there,
Amazingly fresh seafood.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And in terms of the price of things, Sarah, what
I
did
think
you feel?
price is very reasonable. I mean, you can get the oysters or clams for half a bucket or the full bucket, and I think it was reasonable. Definitely better than Fisherman's Wharf. All the meals I think are about under $20, so definitely worth your while.
And you say you usually go for breakfast, but what about dinner?
Yeah, so I went for dinner for the first time, and it was a totally different experience from breakfast. More polished service, and then you had these much more ambitious dishes. Like we had, it was a strip steak, and it was so tender, and it was so delicious, and you could tell because there's these 150-year-old cattle ranches out there, and they're getting their meat locally, and it was so good, such a good thing to eat.
The service was great, and the only trick the service missed was they didn't immediately bring us bread, and we had to ask. And when we asked, they brought us these popovers that were heavenly.
Oh,
they were so well done. It's like the egg and the milk on the inside is cooked, but not quite crisp, but the outside is crisp and flaky. And they lasted maybe 3 minutes
But
at
they'll
most.
keep bringing them, right, Larry, if you ask?
I didn't ask for more because it wouldn't have ended.
Okay. So you don't want to get into that cycle.
I wanted to be able to fit out the door.
Self-destructive spiral.
They're really outstanding.
All right, Gabe, this is your spot. Give us a quick wrap up.
Well, if you're an oyster or other mollusk, you'll probably hate the station house. But everybody else is going to love the fresh ingredients and friendly atmosphere and service.
All right, and Sarah?
Definitely a surprising place to find great fresh seafood. Their drinks and dessert are also very great. A great little spot in Point Reyes.
Okay, and Larry?
Perfect place to relax after a day hiking on the coast. Service was great. Food was really good. Just an all-around happy experience for us.
If you would like to try the Station House Cafe, it's on Highway 1 in Point Reyes in Marin County. The telephone number is 415-663-1515. It's open every day except Wednesday for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Reservations are accepted, and the average tab for a meal is around $25.